Hi, everyone. I'm Susie McCrae, and I am a proud global founder with OnPassive, coming to you from Amherst, Massachusetts in the United States. This is our corporate public guest webinar. And if you've been invited here, well, the person who invited you really cares about you. Today, you're going to hear about a business called OnPassive. After the presentations today, we are going to open up to a Q&A for our guests only, and we will give you instructions. So first speaker today coming to us is Marty DeGarmo from New Jersey in the United States. Marty was in the corporate business world for well over 17 years. He was a project manager, traveled around the globe. And then after that, he got into online marketing, looking at what he could accomplish online. And he has a wealth of knowledge and a lot of wisdom about what he's seen over the last 15 plus years online. And he's going to tell his story and let you know why he is part of OnPassive. So without further ado, Marty, if you'd like to take over, and welcome.
Very good. Thank you, Susie. Lonray, great job. Hello, everybody. Here it is, the 21st. That one. 21st of August. I'm almost having trouble saying. I can't believe it's that late. Today's my granddaughter's birthday, 13 years old, which makes me feel even older. Anyway, a little about myself. I'm 61 years old. I know you don't have to comment looking good as I ought to, but I got a story to tell you that I think a lot of people can relate to. One is about 17 years ago, I decided that living paycheck to paycheck wasn't that much fun. And sometimes there was more month than there was money. So I decided, hey, I'm going to get online, this internet highway, and find a business owner, and I'm going to make money. It's harmless enough. I thought it would be, if other people are making money, I could do it too. Needless to say, I got on like millions of other people do daily, and couldn't tell you what the first business was. It doesn't matter. But I got in, did everything I was supposed to do, thought I did, and went through courses. And every time, the problem was, I had to keep telling myself, you're here to make money, okay, Marty? Remember, you're here to make money. But what had happened was for years, way too long, it cost me money. I was actually losing money. Why? Well, you do a course, they charge you $250, and when you're done with this, you're going to be Captain Obvious, and then they go another $500 one, and when you're done here, oh my God, you're a superstar. And some of that, most of that, let's make it clear, all of that was just crap. It just doesn't work. So I'm looking, I'm trying to learn, what am I missing? It's mindset. No, I'm pretty clear I'd like to do well online. I mean, your why's not big enough. 4 kids and grandchildren, my why's big enough, it's not that. And then what happens, you get in, you find a company that you like, you find out, okay, Marty, you know what your problem is? You don't know how to build a list. You don't know how to drive traffic. Now, when you hear traffic, don't think beep, beep, cars, Jeeps, traffic, people, customers. Mr. Osom will explain all this in great detail. I just want to build up to him, try to. So I didn't know how to drive traffic. I couldn't get visitors to my website. It didn't matter what the business was. I paid per advertising, I paid solo ads, I paid whatever you could do to try to shortcut my way of not knowing how to drive traffic. Costs a lot of money. Once in a while you get something, but then you're like, you just think you might be able to do it, and the company disappears. Next morning, the company's not there. I'm going, you got to be kidding. What the heck? So you're looking for another one that you don't want to get burnt. You got to think about the people you bring. If you can bring people in, can everybody, it just went on and on and on. So I'm going to cut to 4 or 5 years and a lot of money. The other problem added to that, which you all know, is the monthly auto ship, which is translated into we're going to train you freaking dry. Then I went in about 7, 8 years ago, maybe 9 now. I ran into Mike Ellis here in Dan Street. He couldn't make it today. And we teamed up together, and they had some skills to offer that I didn't have. And I think I had some too. So we got together. We learned how to drive traffic. We got it. We got the golden key. So we get into a business, doesn't matter what business. Can't remember what it was. Get into business. We know how to drive traffic. So we start driving traffic, testing different stuff, testing autoresponders, all this stuff, right? So finally you're driving traffic. People actually are starting to sign up for what you're doing. You're jumping around like JoJo the Idiot Circus, like, oh, this is great. Guess what happens? When you get to that point, now you're doing okay. You're starting to get where you want, but you know the guy you told you're going to help him do what you did? You can't. Why? I can't duplicate what I did in 7, 8 years of learning. I thought I could. I tried. I'll be good at people. Okay, do this. What can you help? 5, 10 people? Maybe. That's not walk away income. You can't walk away from any business 3 and 4 and 5 and 20 people. It's impossible. And they're not going to stay there. Why? They're not making any money. So the 10 that you get, or the 100 or the 500, you're constantly replenishing that group of people. So it turns into a numbers game, and people aren't people. And you look into their eyes and you start feeling dirty. And I got to the point where it's just dirty money, whatever it was. We couldn't bring anybody with us. And I thought, I can't keep doing this. So a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago, in fact, it was March 1st. I remember exactly because it's such an impact it had on my life, really, financially wise and business wise. I ran into Red Redford and Peter Rogers. Red's here, and I trusted them. I wasn't looking for a guru. I met gurus. I met that part of the world, and they didn't impress me much, as one of the songs say. So I wanted to find honest, true people that I trusted, and Red was one of them. I said, what are you guys doing? I was in a business with them before, and they said, we're in a business unbelievable. I've heard that before, but I trust these guys. So I'm like, well, let me ask you a question. Is it fairly easy to make money? Yes. If I invite somebody, like build a team, is it easy for them to make money? Yes. They don't need any special skills. No, not at all. Okay. Are the products, is there a monthly auto ship where they got to pack their closet full of crap that most people don't use? Nope. It's digital products. Okay, last one. This is a big one for me. Are we selling some kind of left-handed purple widget? Or is it something that's already out there and people love it? Yes, high demand. In fact, I remember Red saying billions of dollars, niches of different products. Really? Digital. Don't have to hold it. It's out there. It's in space. So I said, holy cow. He told me how much, which Charles is going to go over. Blew me away. I was in, but I mean, flat out, where do I go? Where do I pay? Went back to Mike Ellis and Dan Street. I don't know what I said to them. Didn't matter. They signed up just so I'd shut up. So they signed up, and needless to say, what I thought this business was, because I'm a critic and I've been doing it so long, it turned out to be bigger and better than I thought it was. And it blew me away. It absolutely knocked my socks off. I got to meet, I know the CEO very, very well. He is unbelievable. He runs the company by heart. And then I got to meet people like Charles Osong, Susie Landre, and I went, it can't get any better than this. It just can't get any better than this. Anyway, right now we're going to, Charles Osong, who has experience in IT since there was IT, 30 years or more, he knows anything you would need to know about this business. And he's got the products down pat, like you would think he created them. Okay, he knows them that well. He's going to explain this business to you much better than I can. I'm not that guy. And when he's done, you're either going to be human, breathing, and whatever. And I think it's going to blow you away and you're going to sign up. But remember this, no pressure. Absolutely none. We don't need to. It's a business that is automated, so we don't need to do it. We do it because I want to. I want to see people's face when they become successful. So let me turn it over to Mr. Charles Osong, experience out his ears. I mean, the guy's amazing. And he's going to explain to you exactly how this system and this business works. Mr. Osong, it's all yours, sir.
Thank you, Marty. What a great intro. What a great warm-up for me to get in and start on what this great opportunity is all about. It's a pleasure working with great minds like you, Marty, Red, Mike, Ellis, Susie, all of us here today. We do this because of the love that we have for our people. That's just it. And like Marty just said, I've been in IT for so many, many years. And I am going to be talking to you today about a once in a lifetime kind of opportunity. The way I normally do that is I just tell you my story, okay? And which is the truth. Mark Twain once said, as long as you tell the truth, you don't have to remember anything. So that's what I will be doing today. Being in IT for so many years, making relatively good money, but never enough because I had a job, job, just over broke, we say. After paying the bills, you get broke again, right? And I have a big family in the United States and outside of the United States that I need to help out, I need to reach out. So I've always looked for extra ways of making money. Usually what we call passive residual income. I stumbled upon the works of Mr. Warren Buffett, one of the wealthiest gentlemen on earth. And he said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Now that statement resonates with me every night when I go to sleep. Hopefully I'm making money as I'm going to sleep. I decided to retire or stop working for corporate America, but 4.5 years ago, and I recall a colleague of mine looking at me and going, Charles, you are very fortunate. You must have saved up a lot of money to be retiring this early. And I said to him, on the contrary, I've been working for so long, but I can't seem to save up the kind of money that I would love to. And that's why I'm resigning. I recall also Robert Einstein saying, you keep doing the same thing over and over, but expecting different results. That is his definition of insanity. And I agree with him. So I stopped working. And I said, there's got to be a better way. I got myself an office in Maryland, in the United States. And about 2.5 years ago, a trusted friend of mine walked into my office and said to me, Charles, there is this opportunity I want you to take a look at. And just so you know, prior to retiring, I had been studying rigorously the behavioral patterns of successful people. And one of the patterns is this, simple. You bring them an opportunity, they will look at it inside out so they can make an informed decision. I pretended to be one of them that day, and I told my friend, I will be taking a good look at this opportunity. Excuse me. But first, I have 3 questions for you. Prerequisites. Excuse me. These questions have to be answered satisfactorily before we can move on. Question number 1. This opportunity that you are bringing to me today, if I do not recruit, if I do not sell to even one person, am I going to make money? And I mean real money. Enough money to give me financial freedom. Now, if you recall, I had retired. So I had time freedom. But I was still looking for that very elusive financial freedom. So I asked him, without recruiting, without selling, am I going to be able to make that kind of money? And he said to me, Charles, you will make enough money to leave a legacy to your children, your children's children, and beyond. That sounded like music to my ears. And I said, let's go to the second question. With this company, am I going to have to come out of pocket every month in, month out, to pay some bill? In the industry, they call it auto-ship. Am I going to have to pay a monthly auto-ship? And he said to me, Charles, when this company launches, you're going to have to come out of pocket once, and that's it. Wow, I said, I think we're getting somewhere. We have one more question, the third and the final question. It is the last, but certainly not the least. Does this company have legitimate, viable products? By legitimate, I mean legal. By viable, I mean necessary. Something that mankind, you and I, will need every day. If we don't have it, life is simply miserable. Think about your cell phone today. You don't have your cell phone? I'm pretty sure some of you will not eat until you pay that bill. Think about Wi-Fi, internet access, very crucial. That's what I mean by viability, okay? So I asked my friend, does this company have legitimate, viable products? And he said to me, Charles, you have an extensive IT background. You should be able to understand these products better than me. So take a look. And I said, why not? I did. And when I was done looking at these products, I came back to my friend and I said to him, friend, should this company succeed in what they're trying to do, we are going to have an internet quake. We are going to have a shake-up of the internet. But I also said to him, we are going to have to wait quite a bit, 5 years, maybe 6. He didn't like that. Why? Because he's like most of us. We want instant gratification. We want money now, today. So he didn't like that. And he said to me, Charles, why would you say that? And I said, well, you told me to go look at the products. I did. And I understand what they're doing. They're using artificial intelligence, AI for short, in every step of the development process. AI, my friends, is a disruptive technology. And what do I mean by that? One that comes every once in a while, and it'll change the way we do things. In other words, it'll disrupt our lives. AI is the most disruptive technology mankind has ever known at this day and time, this day and age. But AI is very, very involved. It involves machine learning. It involves empirical data. It involves millions upon millions of lines of coding. And for those of you who are familiar with software development, you agree with me, that is time consuming. And that is why I told my friend, we're going to have to buckle up and enjoy this roller coaster. But I also told him, I do not care how long it's going to take. I want to be part of this opportunity today. I had something called FOMO, fear of missing out. I had missed out on a few opportunities earlier on in my life. And I wasn't going to miss out on this one. Another good example, Bitcoin, blockchain. Okay? When I knew about blockchain, if I had just jumped in it, today I will be a multi-millionaire. So I wasn't going to miss out on this one, which is even more disruptive. Not for any length of time, not at any cost. So I asked him, how much is it going to cost me if I were to be part of this company today? And I was thinking some huge amount of money, maybe $20,000, $25K. I didn't care. I had my credit card. In the United States, fortunately, we do not need cash. All you need is plastics. And I had a few of those at the time. But my friend looked up at me and said, Charles, you will not believe this, but all you're gonna need is $97. I was flabbergasted. I could not believe him. I said, my friend, you couldn't have driven all the way to my office to be joking with me, right? And he said, nope, I'm serious. I said, okay, here's my card, put it on there. By the time we were done, it had only costed me $102. And so yes, there is a $5 fee when you use credit debit card. Big deal. I told him, consider that dinner for two. But I also told him, I do not have 5 or 6 years to be monitoring this company because I'm gonna have to put food on the table. But do me a favor, call me, text me, email me, do whatever it takes. Get me informed when they're closer to launch so I can get more involved. And he said, deal. 8 months later, gave me a call and he said, Charles, the CEO of this company would like to talk to all of us in 1 week's time. Can you make yourself available? Why not? 1 week later, I hopped on the call and there was Mr. Ash Mufareh. Mr. Ash Mufareh is the CEO of this company. Mr. Ash Mufareh, for those of us who have been here for some time now, we have come to know and love him dearly. Not only because he's going to help us make money, and I can assure you, he will help us make tons of money, but also, and more importantly, because of his heart for humanity. My friends, let me tell you this, we have quite a few geniuses out there. There's Bill Gates, there's Mark Zuckerberg, Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, Eric Wan, just to name a few. All of these guys have the brains. But do they have the heart? And as you come to join OnPassive, you will find out that not only does our CEO have the brains, he has a lot of brains, but also he has a lot of heart. And that is why those of us leaders, myself included, resonate with him so very well. But mind you, I was listening to Mr. Mufareh for the very first time. And I jumped on the webinar and he said, folks, we have been making a lot of progress. In fact, we are closer to launch than ever. That statement, I must admit, threw me off because just 8 months earlier, I had told my friend, we are going to be waiting for the very long haul. And here, all of a sudden, this dude is telling us we are closer to launch. So in my head, I am thinking, whom is he kidding? I know exactly what they're trying to do. But the least he did was he got my attention. And I was listening keenly. And he went on. He said, we have gone to Bangalore in India. For those of you who are familiar with India, that part of the world, Bangalore is like the biggest city in technology in India. Well, if you look behind me, you'll see a building that says OnPassive. This building is in Hyderabad. It's in high-tech city. This building, OnPassive, leased this building December 2020, okay? So at that time, this building was non-existent. Mr. Mufareh had gone to Bangalore and he had leased 2 floors in a high-rise building. And he went on. He said, we have hired 200 engineers. And these engineers are working day and night to make sure our dream is realized. So now, in my head, I am thinking most startup companies are going to have 20 to 25 engineers. Most startup companies are going to have these engineers work 8, maybe 9, maybe 10 hours a day. I know, because I have been part of a few of those. Mr. Mufareh had gone to Bangalore. He did not get, he's gone to the source pretty much. And when I say source, for those of you who are familiar with IT, you agree with me that Indians are the best in the game. So he goes to the source. He did not get 20 or 25 engineers. He got 200 of them. And they are not working 8 or 9 or 10 hours a day. No, they are working 24/7. They are taking turns to make sure this baby is born. So in my head, I'm beginning to think, okay, with this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to cut time frames. With this kind of a resource, yes, you're able to take 2, 3, 4 years to do something that's scheduled for 5, 6, or even 7 years. So I'm listening very attentively. He went on and he said, some of us founders, we have been unethical. We've been doing some things that we don't want. So we're going to come up with a non-disclosure agreement, an NDA for short. And I'm going to let my friend Redford here talk to you a little bit more about NDAs at the end. But 2 months later, Mr. Mufareh called up another meeting and he said, folks, the NDAs are out. Go sign them up. I went back, took a look at this very long document, and I'm not an attorney, not by any stretch of the imagination, but by the time I was done reading this document, it occurred to me that this is serious. It occurred to me that this is that time. I told my friend to call me, text me, email me so I can get involved. I look back at the time, money, energy spent from the time I joined up until then. And I say, you know what? I'm going to have to roll up my sleeves. I'm going to have to become a man on a mission because we are about to change the world. So I'm going to talk to everybody who has the ears to listen. If you listen, great. If you don't, I have done my part. Called up a few friends in my office and I said, friends, we are going to have to spread this word massively. And what's the best means? Thanks to technology, we decided on Zoom. Okay? With Zoom, all you need is a smart device. It can be a smartphone, an iPad, a laptop, doesn't matter. You need internet access, data, as folks call it back in Africa, and you are in. Now, what is this company I'm talking to you about? ONPASSIVE, you can see behind me. And the name is what it is. It's a passive opportunity. What does that mean? That means when we launch, you come up with a little amount of money, very little, almost insignificant, and the engineers, the workers go to work for you on your behalf, and you can sit back, fold your arms, and money goes into your bank account day in, day out. Now, the CEO and founder of this company, Mr. Mufareh, that I just mentioned to you guys moments ago, graduated with a master's in e-commerce. He went back to Harvard, did some more studies on how to do business online. This guy has a knack for AI, artificial intelligence. This guy is a guru when it comes to traffic generation. Marty mentioned traffic earlier, but I'm going to explain to you traffic right now. My friends, traffic is so important. Let's spend a couple minutes talking about it. Traffic is the reason all of us can dream today. Traffic is the most fundamental element in any business. It doesn't matter whether that business is offline or online? Well, I know most of us have an age, so we're more used to offline businesses. So let's start with the offline part of it. Say you have a business offline, and it can be any business. It can be a car dealership, a barber shop, a tire, it doesn't matter. But let's just say it is a restaurant, only because I love food, and also I know everybody must eat at some point in time. So you have a restaurant and I have a restaurant. Same kind of restaurant, same kind of food. As a matter of fact, same chef. The only difference is what? Location. Your restaurant is located in a busy area, in a shopping mall. People come in and out all the time. My restaurant is located in a back alley. It is hidden. Yours is going to fare better than mine. And here is why. People are going to come to that shopping mall, minding their own business, to do their hair, their nails, buy some clothes, window shopping, whatever it is that brings them to that shopping mall, they will eventually get hungry. They're going to look up, spot your restaurant, and the end result of that is what? Sales. My restaurant, on the other hand, they're going to have to know it is there. They're going to have to leave their homes deliberately to go there. And because of that, it suffers. It suffers from what? Traffic. So what then is traffic? The people, the customers coming in and out of your business. It's that simple. Now, what about traffic online? But before I go there, I want to say this. If you have an offline business in this digital day and age, like that restaurant, you better get yourself an online presence. Otherwise, you're going to be smoked by your competition. And the reverse is not true. You can have a very successful business online with no offline presence, and you're going to do very well. Typical example, Amazon, the richest company in the world. So what am I saying in essence? Yes, we do have millions upon millions of businesses offline, but we do have more businesses online than we do offline, billions of them. And all of these billions of businesses, they thrive on traffic too. So what is traffic online? It is simple. Clicks. Clicks, my friend. You have a business online. The first thing that needs to happen for you to make a sale, people need to come there and click. No clicks, no sales. The more the clicks, the more the sales. So we have companies online, individuals, making serious money online simply by driving traffic, customers, to these billions of businesses online. And then we have something called targeted traffic. What is targeted traffic? Say you go online to search for a TV, and somebody comes behind and whispers on your ear, go to charlesoson.com. And the moment you get there, all you see are TVs, all colors, all sorts, all prices. Chances of you buying, very high. Well, guess what? That store just got itself a targeted traffic, a customer looking for exactly what they're selling. That is big, my friends. And our CEO and founder is the best in the game of driving targeted traffic. And that is why I said, because of traffic, all of us can dream. He proved himself. When he graduated, he got involved with a few companies, drove traffic to them, targeted traffic. Yes, he made some millions doing that. And these companies also made a lot of money. But unfortunately, most of them went out of business. And why? Remember, I told you guys in the beginning, they did not have legitimate, viable products, because when you don't have that, any company is a time bomb if they don't have viable products. So Mr. Mufareh and his family, notably his wife, who is also in IT, they're going to sit down and say, you know what? We need to stop doing this. We need to stop sending valuable people, customers, to businesses that don't have any basis, to businesses that are going to eventually fold. So we are going to start our own. We're going to have legitimate, viable digital services. We're going to have founding members, you and I. We're going to drive traffic to them. They are going to make money. We are going to make money. And everybody is what? Happy. And that's the birth of OnPassive. So just over 3 years ago, Mr. Mufareh and his friends, and remember, 3 years ago, there was no pandemic. There was no COVID-19. These guys were just visionaries. Mr. Mufareh and his friends are going to sit and say, hey, you know what? We got to have our own services. We are starting our own. We have close to 8 billion people on earth. And at any point in time, statistics show that 7 million of them are online. 7 million. Prior to COVID-19, you can imagine what number is online today. But 7 million is still a lot. 7 million every minute online, looking for something, looking for some services. So what are they looking for? What kind of services? So we can provide them. Okay? Some of us online are doing what we call online banking. I know that. I do that sometimes twice a day. And I know some of you do that as well. And when we do these things, there are companies, individuals online monetizing on our services. So these guys are going to say, you know what? With artificial intelligence, AI at the back of our hands, we can do that too, even better. Some of us online are on what? Our favorite social media, LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I love Facebook. But when we are on Facebook, what are we doing? We're exchanging texts. We're exchanging photos to friends, family members, colleagues, classmates. Guess what that's called? Community. So these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we're going to have our own community, bigger and better. And as you join us, you're going to find out our community is already over 850,000 strong and growing by the minute. Yes. Some of us online are doing e-commerce, drop shipping, email marketing, bulk emailing. Well, there are people online making 6- and 7-figure income just doing email marketing. I know that. I thought about it once upon a time. And these guys are going to say, you know what? With AI, we can do that even better, including auto responding. Some of us online, we are video conferencing, just like you and I, right? If you can see me, you can hear me. It means you went to some application called Zoom, you put in some ID, and there you are. Well, Zoom, the owners of Zoom, they are monetizing on our services as we speak. And Zoom is not the only one. We have Skype, we have AnyMeeting, we have Cisco WebEx, we have Google Hangouts, we have Microsoft Teams. We have a plethora of more than 25 of them. And all of them making serious money today, especially since the advent of COVID-19. Zoom is the most popular of all of this. Why? Because it is the most user-friendly, but not for long, guys. Those of us who have been here for some time, we've had a privilege of seeing a sneak peek of our O Connect, which is our own webinar platform. It's going to make Zoom look like a joke. The pictures are clearer, better, 3D. It is faster. It is more secure, end-to-end encrypted. And it is scalable. Well, guess what? Above everything else, more affordable. like my friend Mike Ellis always says, at a lower price point. So when we launch OnPassive, it's simply going to help us monetize. But let's focus on Zoom for now. Why? Because today is still their day. Wait until we launch. Prior to COVID-19, Zoom was averaging 10 million participants a day. April 1st, 2020, same company took a statistic. That number had risen to over 300 million participants a day. You can imagine what it is today. November 30th, 2020, Forbes magazine came out with a report. Zoom had made more profits than ExxonMobil, the decades-old American oil company. You guys know why? Digitization, virtualization, every university, high school, middle school, elementary school, asking students to take classes virtually. Men of God, pastors, women of God, having virtual prayer services. I've seen virtual weddings, virtual all kinds of stuff. So the world is going virtual, and OnPassive is simply going to help us monetize. Let's talk about another virtual service, Virtual Private Network, VPN. What is that? Simply a fancy name. It is a fancy name for a tunnel that cuts across a major network such as the internet. It provides for privacy. Employers use it so that their employees can access corporate data without fear of bad guys, without fear of hackers. Ever since the advent of COVID-19, more and more companies asking employees to work from home. Facebook, Microsoft, all of them, even the federal government. Now, these guys are OnPassive. They're going to say, hey, with AI, we're going to have our own VPN. We'll call it all virtual. Super, super smart, very intelligent, highly secure, end-to-end encrypted, more scalable, and above all, guess what? More affordable. When we launch, my friends, I can promise you, the big players in the VPN space, like Cisco Networks, they are going to know there is a new sheriff in town. Trust me on this one. Now let's talk about another service, search engine optimization, SEO. What is that? It's like a mouthful. We all know of search engines, Yahoo. We all know of Bing. And for those of us Apple enthusiasts, we know of Safari. And everyone should know of Google. It is a household name these days, right? Google it. It's like a verb. You can go to Google 10 times, 100 times a day, free of charge. You can go to Google to create one email address, 10, 20, free of charge. You can even get a voice over IP phone number, free of charge. We all go to Facebook, free of charge. So all these high-tech companies, they seem to be free. YouTube, all of them, right? They're free. But they are multi-billion-dollar companies. So here's a multi-billion-dollar question that I have got for you guys. How do they make money? How does Google make money? Most of us don't know. And frankly, most of us don't even care because it is none of our business. But the main way that Google makes money is through SEO. And I'm going to tell you how that works because OnPassive is going to help you and I make money the same way. You go to Google today, google.com, and you search for something. And it could be anything. It doesn't matter. It could be a watch. It could be a phone. Doesn't matter. But let's say it is a camera. And that's only because I do have a camera store online and I do market through Google. You go there and you put in cameras. Guess what's going to happen? A bunch of them will pop up. One of them from my store. If you click on that camera from my store, well, it just costed me money. I'm going to have to pay, right? It doesn't matter whether you buy or not. So here's what Google says. You are an individual or a business selling online. You market your stuff to us, and a customer comes looking for that item. We are going to optimize our search, hence SEO, search engine optimization. We're going to bring it to the top so that they can see it, eyeballs. The moment they see it, case closed. We are going to bill you. And they call it pay-per-click. One click money, one click money. At the end of the month, they're going to go to my credit card that they have on that file, and they just bill me. Believe it or not, I am paying Google averagely $400 every month. And I'm a very, very small, almost insignificant business person online. But I'm paying that kind of money. So you can imagine what the big guns are paying. The United Airlines, okay? The big guys. All the big Walmart, all these big guys. You can imagine what they're paying every month. I'm also paying Microsoft every month. For what? Bill Gates bought over a company called Bing. He revamped it. And now people like us have to pay him every month. I'm paying a company called GoDaddy for what? Domain name service, DNS. Every website you see online, .com, .org, .net, .info, all of them have to have a hosting company. And these companies are making a killing. Well, guess what? OnPassive is going to help us do DNS using AI. We're going to monetize on that as well. OnPassive is going to help us do SEO. Super, super smart. By the time you type the first character, it already knows where you are headed. Let me tell you, my friends, when OnPassive launches, the big players in this space, like Google, like Microsoft, they are going to know there's a new kid on the block. I can assure you. Now, what am I doing, guys? I am just giving you the products, the digital products, services that OnPassive is putting together, the ones that you and I can relate to, because there are many, more than 50 of them. We have e-learning, we have e-tracking, all kinds of stuff online, accounting software, human resource, all of them. But these ones I just mentioned to you are the ones that we use every day. You and I, it doesn't matter what your profession is, you're going to use it. You don't have to be in accounting to use Facebook. No. These are ones very, very popular. And what is OnPassive doing? OnPassive says, if you are an individual, a business person, small or large, and you need something online, we have got it for you in one place, under one umbrella. In IT, we'll call it single sign-on. And here's a big word for you today, my friends. They are all integrated. No company on earth has ever succeeded in doing this. We are the first. We are 99% there. My friends, I told you in the beginning, with OnPassive, you don't have to recruit to make money. Otherwise, I won't be here. With OnPassive, you don't have to come out of pocket every month to pay some bill. And with OnPassive, above all, we have the most legitimate, viable digital services of this day and age. My friends, that is value. You're going to be hard pressed to find a company with all three of these. And if you do, I promise you, you contact me and I will be your very first customer. Now, with all this value, what is it going to cost you today? What is it going to take today for you to become a founding member? Because we are still in the pre-launch state and we are going to be launching very, very soon. What is it going to cost you? I am going to let my friend and partner, Mr. Red Refren, who has been with this company almost since the inception. He understands everything about this business. He's very, very good in explaining. He's got it down packed. And I'm going to let him talk to you guys a little bit about how we're going to come into this great, great company. Red, take it over.
Thanks very much, Charles. And thank you for the presentation. I say the same thing week in, week out. Every time I hear this, I want to sign up all over again. So how exactly do you sign up? You've heard Charles's presentation. You've heard the intro from Marty. You think, you know something, there's something in this. I want to know more. So this is what you do. You get back to the person who has invited you here today, okay? And you say to them, yeah, I'm really interested. What do I have to do? They will then give you a registration link, okay? In that registration link, you will put in your name and surname and an email. Once you have sent that off, next it will pop up with a payment page. Within this payment page, okay, you have to decide how you're going to pay. At the moment, it is $97 US. If you use a Visa debit credit card, this will cost you $102. There is a $5 admin fee that goes on top, but it is instant, guys. So we recommend that you use a Visa, MasterCard, debit or credit card, because you'll instantly be in. There is other forms of payment as well. Cryptocurrency is one of them, and other means depending on your country. So once you have done that, you've paid. The next time you log in to your account, up will pop the thing that Charles said is the NDA. This is the non-disclosure agreement. Okay, it is a long document, as Charles has already mentioned. It is 5 pages long of lots and lots of big words that most of us don't really understand, but it is there for a purpose. And the reason it is there is to protect the company, but more importantly, to protect you, the founder and consumer. This shows exactly how serious OnPassive is about their business. And this is before we have even launched, guys. So take a big read of that all the way down to the bottom. There is 2 boxes that you have to tick. Okay, one is to say that you've read it, and the other one is to say that you are happy to sign it on behalf of somebody else or yourself. Okay, there's also a big box in there that you can digitally sign it using your finger if you're on a smart device, or if you're on a laptop or desktop, you can digitally sign it that way as well. Once you've done that and sent the processing button on that, you're good to go. Then you can access the back office for us founders, where there is tons of information, guys. So have a good look around at that. So the next time you will come out of pocket, remember Charles said you only ever come out of pocket twice with OnPassive, is to activate your account the day that we launch. Now, this is coming very, very shortly. We believe that it's going to be this year, definitely. Okay, this is our understanding until we hear anything else. So when we launch to the world, this is when you activate your account. And at the moment, this is $250 there or thereabouts. Might be less, might be a little bit more. But if you have in your head 250, you won't be far off the mark. Once you have activated your account, that's it. There is no out-of-pocket payments ever again, because the company will get to work on your behalf. They will then be searching for customers, resellers on your behalf, and then the commissions from these people will then pay for your subsequent subscriptions that will be paid monthly. So you never have to go out of pocket again. How cool is that, guys? So that's all you have to do. Okay, once you have done all that, you're good to go, and then you are a founder with us. Now, before I leave you, I want to just touch on 2 things just for you to ponder about whilst you're thinking about joining us. Charles mentioned earlier on that the biggest online company about is Amazon. We've all heard of Amazon. We've probably all used Amazon many, many times. I know my wife does on a regular basis. Okay, so they are absolutely massive, and their CEO, their founder, Jeff Bezos, is also the richest man on the planet. And why is he the richest man on the planet? Not just because he's got the largest internet company, but because he wants to keep the majority of the profits himself. He's that arrogant about it. When he had his tit for tat going up into space and he came back down again with all his other billionaire buddies, he said, I would like to thank my customers and my employees for giving me the money to do this. I mean, that is not, for me, the kind of person I want to associate myself with. But did you know also that in its exceptions over the last 20 years or so, he has produced 40,000 millionaires, and he doesn't even want to give any of that money away. Just imagine with a CEO like we've got, Ash Mufareh, who wants to give the majority of the profits to us, the founders, where we are going to be in the years to come. I would not be surprised if in years to come, there is not over 1 million millionaires coming out of OnPassive. And the last thing I'm going to give to you to think about whilst you are deciding to join us as a founder is this. Your decision today, and that is a $97 decision, will have an impact on you in 2 years' time. An impact on you, your family, your friends, and your community around you. The decision you make today will impact you in 2 years' time. So make that $97 decision and join us today on this amazing journey to be a founder and partner with OnPassive. The day that we launch to the world, that's it. There is no founders available at all. Door closes, slams shut. And the last thing is also that founder's position comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee from the company as well. So you can literally stick your toe in that water, have a look around. If it's not for you, contact support, say, I'd like a refund, it's not for me. And you can walk away with your money and we all part as friends. How cool is that? Anyway, that's it from me. Back over to you, Susie.
Well, thank you, Red, and thank you, Charles, and thank you, everyone who has joined us today. We are going to open up the Q&A, and then if Mike Ellis wants to say a few words as we get some questions going, that would be great. Just a reminder, if you want a copy of today's presentation, you can email onpassivenation@gmail.com, and you will receive a copy of this presentation because it was a great story and you may want to listen to more of it. So today's Q&A and webinar is for our guest. So if you would like to ask a question, you can do it 2 different ways. You can raise your hand. We can see your hand raised. We will bring you on as a panelist. Your screen will change, and then we'll ask you to unmute yourself and turn on your video, or you can type a question in the chat. Just a reminder to any current founders who have joined us today, if you ask a question, we will defer that to Monday when we have our founders only webinar, because as you know, today is for our guests only. So Mike, if you just want to add a few words or insight, I will start bringing some people on to the panel. And if you've raised your hand and you do not want to come on, please go down and lower it so we know. And if you're a founder and you've raised your hand, please lower it. I'm going to be bringing our guest on. Okay, Mike, it's all yours.
Yeah, no, thanks, Susie. You know, as I've been sitting here and listening to everybody talk, everybody on this panel is just absolutely the tops. They're the best of the best. And when you listen to these individuals, you have to understand they've been doing this a very, very long time. They know what they're doing and they know what they're looking for. And, you know, we're not totally altruistic as you come in and listen to us. Yes, we're here because we want to make money. I mean, we really are here because we want to make money. But one of the main reasons we love OnPassive is we know, and Marty talked about this early on, we know as you come in, flat out, we know it, it's guaranteed. As you come in and participate with OnPassive, you will make money, period. And when you can tell somebody that and know that it's true, it makes business very, very easy to share with individuals and get them in and participate because it's going to change your life. As you look at OnPassive, you don't have to think about a lot of things initially. As you come in, you're going to continue to explore and you're absolutely going to love it. But as you come into OnPassive, 100% automated, you will make money. And as you come in and understand OnPassive, you will even start to share it. It's just human nature. When you have something good, you share it. So everybody here, great job. And as you come in, you're new to OnPassive, come on in, pay the $97. I see a smiling face right there and get ready to prosper because that's what OnPassive is. Go ahead, Susie.
Okay, thank you so much, Mike. And I just want to let you know that when I came into OnPassive, I only saw like 5 different bullet points. And right away, I'm like, Oh my goodness. And I immediately got all of my family and my friends on, and a lot of them have never done anything online except surf the net and maybe do some email. That's how excited I was. So I think after what you've heard today, you need to get back to the person who invited you. Hop on board, then you'll have access like Red went through in our back office, and you'll be able to get even more information. And I'm telling you, you're going to just get more and more excited. Okay, we have Paula on, but if you are a founder, today is for our guest, Paula. Are you a guest or are you a current founder? If you could unmute yourself, please.
Hello, are you listening to me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Hello.
Are you
okay? Yeah, I'm a founder, but I'd like to tell you something, please. I don't speak very well English, but I'm going to say I like so much ONPASSIVE. I like to try my English with us. When I found ONPASSIVE, I see Ash Mufareh, and my feelings is like
okay.
She is a good,
Yes. Thank you for sharing.
I like so much.
Okay, thank you for sharing that, Paula, and we appreciate you being on.
Okay,
but today,
sorry, I don't speak very well English.
That's
but
okay. Today is for our guest.
Time. Okay.
Hang on, Paula. Today is for our guest. We appreciate you speaking about your enthusiasm, but we're going to get to the questions. So thank you. I'm going to put you back as an attendee. Okay, we have Benjamin. If you could unmute yourself, Benjamin, and ask your question. Benjamin?
I just realized I am a founder. So I will defer my this thing to Monday.
Okay, thank you very much. Next we have Diala Mark. If you could unmute yourself and welcome. You'll need to unmute yourself on the microphone. If it's red, you need to turn we can't hear you, Diala. Okay, Diala, we cannot hear you. You have to unmute the mic. In the meantime, we'll go to a question. Alex is asking that he is.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you now. Welcome.
Yes, I'm so much happy about ONPASSIVE, and I'm interested in registering with the company.
Okay.
Yes, I'll get back to the person that introduced me.
Yes. Get back to the person who introduced you. They will get you their registration link. You can sign up under them. Yes, do that. And then on Monday afternoons, we have a founders only Q&A, and you can start your learning process and seeing more videos. So thank you for joining us. Okay.
You're welcome. I'm interested. You're welcome. I'll follow it up.
That's great. You do it right now. Trust me. Okay, thank you. So
you're welcome.
We did have a question in the chat. Alex is saying he's a guest, he or she is a guest, and very interested, wanted to know how to join. Alex, that's very easy. Get back to the person who invited you with this link to this presentation, and they will get you their registration link, and they'll walk you through and help you get registered as a founding member. So that's great. We have Marissa Sales is in here. Marissa, if you could unmute yourself and ask your question. Hi, Marissa.
Hi, Susie. How are you?
Good.
Good. I'm glad you can hear me. So I was just wondering, after the $97, is there anything that I would have to pay until it launches?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely. All right.
Yeah. You know, that question, Marissa, comes up quite a bit because I know some people I brought in said, is that $97 a month until we launch? I said, no. See, you're paying the $97 to become a founder once, okay? And then when we launch, like was instructed, you'll become a customer. That's the beauty of this. Putting in the $97, as I like to say, shows that you have skin in the game. You caught the vision and you're here and you're locked in to the company. And so, yeah, that's it. And then you wait at launch, there'll be instructions on how you then pay your first month. And that's only once out of pocket.
Only once out of pocket after we launch.
Yeah. So once today, when you become a founder,
Right.
$97. Then when we go to the official launch, we're not sure the price. It's going to be around $200, $250. You'll pay your 1 month subscription out of pocket. And then going forward, every month that subscription will be paid out of your profit. So you're only out of pocket twice.
Got you. So after that second payment is profit. It's not even coming out of your pocket.
Yes, the first payment, $97 to be a founder, comes out of your pocket. The second payment when we launch, the $200, $250 to become a customer and to get all of the products on OnPassive, you pay that out of pocket. So you pay twice out of pocket. Then after that, it all comes out of your profit.
Got you. I'm on board now.
Okay. Well, you're one smart lady. I'm telling you, we knew you would catch the vision here. Get back to the person who invited you and continue your learning about this because you're going to get more and more excited. Okay. So did you have any other questions, Marissa?
No, ma'am, I'm good. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for joining us. We have Shyam Sundar Roy is on the panel. If you could unmute yourself. Shyam Sundar Roy. Shyam Sundar Roy. Shyam Munder. Okay, let's look in the chat while we're waiting for him. There was a question, is there a deadline to registration? If someone wants to talk about, is there a deadline to becoming a founder? Red, would you like to talk?
Yeah, sure. I'll take that one. It's not a problem. Yes, there's a deadline. The day that we launch to the world, that's it. That's your cutoff point. There is no more founders after the day that we launch to publicly to the world. So the time frame is short. And remember, guys, the earlier that you register as a founder, that locks you in to the payment system of OnPassive with that date. So the earlier you do it, the better off it is for you to do it as soon as possible. Obviously, every single founder, you only have to be in it to win it, guys. So, but the earlier you do it, it is more beneficial to you, simple as that. But the cutoff date is the day that we launch to the world, okay?
Okay, thank you, Red. Shyam Sundar Roy. If anyone has a question, they can raise their hand. We'll bring you in, or you can type it in the chat. I'm not sure, Shyam Sundar, if you could unmute your mic. There is a question in the chat. How do I make new payments to the company purse? Practically, I'm not sure if I get that question 100.
Hello, Susie.
Hi.
Hello. Most of these questions are from founders, and we need to direct them to the founders only meeting. There are so many of them in the chat room. They are from founders.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Yes, Jean, I sent you my email address. Please do not put that information here in the chat, Jean. You should be emailing me. Okay. It doesn't look like we have any other questions in the chat or hands raised where people want to come on. So that's great. It seems like, Charles, you did an awesome presentation today. You were kicking it and read your explanation. Remember, if you want a copy of today's webinar, email, don't put your email in the chat, email onpassivenation@gmail.com. If you want to view the products, go to onpassive.com, go to the blog, start learning more about the business. But we have the feeling that you're going to get back to the person who invited you, get registered, and then you will have access to the back office with even more information. We have a private founders only Q&A on Mondays, 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every week, where you can come on as a paid founder and get your questions answered. Now, you're watching this webinar today. What we also do is we provide our founders with corporate guest webinars. So you can invite your friends to one of these and then let the person doing the presentation explain ONPASSIVE to your guests, because sometimes it's a lot of information and you're trying to explain everything. It doesn't go the way you want it to go. That's why we have these here. So we have these every Tuesday, 2 p.m. Eastern Time, and every Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, to help guests understand this business. So once you're a founder, you just invite people to these webinars and then let us explain it to them so that they can join you on this journey as well. Okay. That sounds great. Charles, you were excellent today. We love your presentation, and like Red says, it makes us all want to jump on board all over again. We're getting closer and closer to this company coming to fruition, so now's the time to jump on board. If you'd like to end it with any words of wisdom, Charles, it's all yours.
All right, thanks, Susie. Before I do that, I want to say our next guest webinar is on Tuesday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right? So if you're new, you don't have to worry about, oh, how do I tell my loved ones? We will do the job for you, right? Of course, Susie already mentioned that Monday, tomorrow is Sunday, right? Monday, 2 p.m. Eastern, we have our founders only webinar, and I see a lot of founders chatting. So when we say it's for guests only, we're not only talking about coming to the panel, we're also meaning the chats, right? You don't need to put questions on the chat if you are a founder. You come on Monday. I saw somebody posted about Cash App, and Susie said, email me, and they are still putting the stuff on the chat. No, you sent email to her personally. As a matter of fact, she was nice to respond to you. I would have simply told you, come back on Monday, okay? So on Monday, guys, founders, you come there. We are first of all going to tell you where we are as far as the launching process is concerned, right? And then we're going to take all your questions. It doesn't matter what kind of questions. It's our Founders Day. So thanks again, Susie. Thanks, Michael. Thanks, Maddie. Thanks, Larry. Thanks, Red. Okay, and thanks to you, all the founders, the leaders who are in the house. And we will see you on Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.